Hello, FlossTube family. This is Sylvia with Running with Needles and Scissors. It is October 10th. I should know this date because I am leaving for today for a rather extended trip to Europe, mostly work related. And so I'm like ready to go. I'm like, I gotta sit down and do a floss tube before I leave. And then it's a little bit of a crazy schedule. It's Germany first, then Spain. Then because I booked this ticket non-changeable, because that's the cheapest option, and this is work travel and I work for a ministry, they decided to have a meeting in the Netherlands the week after this whole trip was to conclude. And so there's a weekend in between, and I could not change my ticket. And doing all the math and calculations, it was so much cheaper for me to come home and go back than to stay over there. So that is what I'm doing. I am gonna fly home from Spain on the 21st and turn around on the 23rd and fly back to the Netherlands for another 6 days, and then come home and hopefully retain my sanity and health. Anyways, so that's what's happening. So I thought I'd do a floss tube, a quick one now, and probably another short one in that little time that I'm home, because we are almost ready to launch Running with Needles and Scissors as a design company. The two things that I'm releasing, it'll be November 1st. It's a kit and a reproduction sampler, two separate things, and I will show them in the next coming video. And the website is up. We haven't put anything on there, and I will put the link to the website down below, but there you can sign up for newsletter notifications, so when I do put something on there, you will be the first to know. The kit is quite limited. It's for Christmas, because I'm a one-man show that still works full-time, and there's only so much I can do. So it's limited. And like I said, I show it next time, and I am really excited about it. I think it turned out so cute, and everybody that's seen it, that has seen it, really is excited about it. So I'm happy to show it next time. So this time around, I can't show any current stitching because it's all related to future samplers. The big news is I am going to market Tracy Riffle from Hands to Work. She's such a doll, and she has invited me to share her room with her. And so, now it's like on. I am working to get everything ready. But I do have some stash and some what's in the bag and things I found, in an antique mall, and I'll show you all that. And I have one thing to give away, so I'll do that right away. I'll show you. I got the latest punch needle and primitive stitching, and there's a lot of Halloween in here, and it's just not my thing. So it's predominantly Halloween. Otherwise, I might keep it for some of the fall stitching, but I'm happy to give it away. I think the rules are clear. No saying giveaway and whatnot, and you have to be over 18, and please, let's keep it to the United States because this thing weighs a little bit. And so just use the name, just use the season fall. And I will give this away when I come back. Okay, so quick life update. Things are a little calmer here. Not super calm, but a little calmer. Those of you who follow me on Instagram and have read the long post about the deer know that my older dog got attacked by a deer. Not the deer's fault, not the dog's fault. I really think it's more my fault than anything else. But it was super scary. She's old. She's over 14. And she's little, and the mama deer was just defending her too. She has twins, two little bucks, and she's very calm, very tame. So she's not shy. She doesn't run away. I fed her out of my hand already, and I had called the dogs back. So Millie is more cautious. She'll bark, and then she's like, "Ooh, that's big. I'm gonna come back and stick with mom. And Mia, who's somewhat deaf and somewhat blind, I had called her back and she had come back. So I was like, okay. And I was taking down laundry and, you know, she must have gone back to, you know, get too close to the deer. And so the deer attacked her. And so she screamed a horrible scream. You know, I turned around. The deer had already, you know, was running her and her two little bucks. And she was laying there she looked like she had broken her neck. So her head was completely twisted sideways and her little legs were up in the air. You know, she was twitching and, you know, I screamed and, you know, scooped her up. She was completely stiff and you know, I ran into the house with her. And as I got in, she started screaming and it's not funny. I laugh during all kinds of stressful situations. That's my go-to. I set her down and because I thought I was hurting her, you know, holding on to her. And so she careened into the door and the wall and the furniture, and, you know, and so I am like, stop, stop, stop. And Millie's barking. And oh, it was a scene. And, you know, I was just, I was done for. Anyways. And so I finally managed to grab her and hang on to her. And I called my husband all, you know, hysterical, like, she's gotten hurt. She's gotten really hurt. And because I couldn't tell, I was just holding on to her because I didn't want her to hurt herself more by, you know, running into things. And I think, so, you know, once everything calmed down, I'm like, okay, she was looking for a safe spot, you know, because she can't see well. She was in such a blind panic. And I think that really what happened to her is she got the air knocked out of her, so she couldn't breathe. And I'm sure whatever the deer did hurt her. But she's fine. You know, she chased a couple squirrels. That's sort of my indicator. If you can run after a squirrel, chase it, then we're good. She, that same night, I let him out in the, you know, it was dark. And so I let him out for the last time and I went out there with them. And we have these solar path lights. And I saw some glowy eyes looking at me from one of them. And I was like, oh, we know what's that. And so Millie, of course, sees it right away. Mia has limited perception. So Mia sees it and, you know, she goes and I'm like, no, Millie sees it. Mia has limited perception. So Millie's running off to check out what it is. And, you know, from that little bit of light, I could tell, okay, it's a big possum. So that thing hissed at Millie and Millie's, you know, like, oh, okay, yeah, that's all I need. You know, she turned around and came right back. And, you know, I grabbed Mia really quick because I didn't want her to get wind of it. And I wouldn't have been able to hold her back. So, yeah, the wildlife is coming. You know, we've seen big bucks in our yard and I don't know how many weeks ago it was, 2-3 weeks ago, I saw a fox. I talked to my neighbor. He said, oh, I have not seen a fox in ages. And so when I came out, it was evening-ish and there was a bunny in the front lawn. And so Millie, you know, straight off started chasing the bunny. And I think that was the bunny the fox was chasing, because I looked down our driveway a little bit and I said, what is that thing standing there? It was by our lamppost. And, you know, I was like, that is an odd looking little deer, you know, late birth or something. And, you know, I'm like, but the color's off. And so it turned its head towards me and I'm like, oh, it's a fox. And so I called Mia. I tried to call Mia back and the fox, of course, dashed off, but she ran across my neighbor's front lawn and it's wide open. So I got to watch him run and it was kind of cool. All right, so let's get to the stitching part. Enough of updates. We'll get to stitching or purchases. That's what it is. So everybody's been talking about Tidy Made a couple weeks ago from the Attic Summer School. And so I think it was Paisley Stitcher I listened to first. I think she was the first one out with at least that I follow, with a Attic Summer School thing. And she mentioned Tidy Made. So I immediately got on Facebook Marketplace and found a nice Tidy Made for a really good deal. So I ordered that and it came. One of the things I wanted the spools as well, you know, so there are some silk threads and you know, these old spools. So I was thrilled to get one. I haven't put any 103s in there because I'm not working with them right now. So it's currently staying in that state. The other thing was that a couple weeks ago, the craft Gallery, I think is called, in Findlay, Ohio, had their stash sale. And so my friend Diane and I, we went up there and happened to meet up with the crew from Keepsakes that we know, which was really lots and lots of fun. It was so great to see them. And so I got, you know, a few things from people's stash, but also inside the store, there were some nice sales happening. So one of the things that they were selling frames, and I picked up this one. They had to mark down quite a bit. So this is a fall frame. Well, it so happened that I had gotten, I don't know if I showed this yet or not, this acorn kit that I picked up on Stash Unload. Now don't ask me when I'm going to stitch this. I am so underwater with running with needles and scissors stitching that I have no idea, but it's fun to contemplate. So this is what it looks like, and I measured and it is perfect. So instead of making a drum, I'm going to stick that right in here. So thrilled to have it. The other thing when we walked into the shop was we saw the Teresa, or I did anyways, the Teresa Kogut exclusive for, does it say it's exclusive for Craft Gallery? Yeah, it does. You know, I saw a photo of it and I was like, it's okay. I can live without it. I saw it there. It is so, so pretty. And it's just fantastic. So here it is. It's exclusive to the Craft Gallery. And, you know, when you start, look, I mean, there are little kids of different color. It is so, so, so beautiful. She did such a good job. Anyways, so I picked that up with the Called For Linen, which is an X2 design aged hazel wood. So that was, when am I going to stitch this? Don't ask me. It's just nice to have in case I want to. Then the other thing, so I forget what Rob and I were doing, but where were we? Oh, we had to go to the base and get my ID card renewed. And so we were up in that direction of Ohio, Dayton. And so I said, I don't know what we were looking for, but as we were going, I was like, oh, there's a Goodwill right there. Pull in, let me go run in and look. And it wasn't the best Goodwill, but I think I found a couple things. And then as we were driving back, he says, I have a surprise for you. I was like, okay. And he pulls into the Goodwill outlet. Now, I've never been to a Goodwill outlet. And we walked in and I was like, oh, okay, this is rough. There's just big bins, sort of by subject. You know, like all the books are thrown in a bin and there's shoes in a bin and big bins. It's not clean. Lots of people digging through and oh, excuse me, my nose is running. Anyways, I was like, okay, well, this is super interesting. But, you know, because he wanted to surprise me, I'm like, all right, you know, I'll give it a good go. And so it's not 30 seconds that I'm in there and I see a tote bag hanging off of something. And I was like, I think I see a cross stitch pattern. And I did. And I pull it out and I show my husband. I said, oh, look, I don't even have this one. And he's like, I cannot believe I saw just a little portion of this sticking out. And I was like, I know that. Anyway, so from the Goodwill Clearance Center that you pay by weight, this didn't cost anything at all because it weighs nothing. The Strawberry Patch by Homespun Sampler. It reminds me a little in the direction of Lottie Da, but yeah, it's super cute. So that's the story behind that one. It was very funny. I don't know where I got this one. Anyways, I do try to pick up Mary Gary's Sewing Cabin where I can, if they're reasonably priced. I think her design aesthetic is really cute. So I got the Millennium, Marietta Swift and the Millennium 2000 sampler. I'm not super interested in the reproduction, but I think this little scene down there is very, very cute. And she always writes a very fun story. Now, I have stitched some of her seasonal mementos, and I stitched the baseball one for my son. I really like it. I really like her design aesthetics, and she's out of print. But so when I find, I have a couple more. I picked up Merrily by Merrily Beams Forget Me Not. Who doesn't love this? This was from, I think, Rookery. Oh, I should have looked it up. Not good. Anyways, but it's Olivia B. runs this. She had a few Merrily Beams. This was not the only one I picked up, but I don't know where I stashed the others, but this was still out because I'm really interested in kitting it up and contemplating stitching it anyway. So there's that. And the last thing, I think this came from Stash Unload. This is Threadwork Primitives Eternal Sleep. It's the time, it's the season. That's why it appealed to me. I do like Tombstone Angels. That I do like. So, what does it say on there? Laugh, don't weep. Eternal sleep. Good. So the other thing we did that day when we were up at Craft Gallery, we had a really nice lunch with the group. And we then went to the antique mall. I found a number of things there. But one of the things I'm going to show you is another quick shaker box. It's going to rattle because I have spools in there. But it was in one of the shops. It's blue and has a tree of life or just an apple tree on it. It's not as big as the camera makes it seem. Here we go. It's pretty good size. I was thrilled to find it. It was a good deal. It doesn't have, I can't see anything on the bottom. It's got, you know, some age-related crazing on the cover. I think I might wax it, clear wax, just to give it a little bit of protection. But and then I found a whole lot of these little, the price is still on there, these little spools, which you'll see them on a cover photo at some point or another. I already used this one for the Christmas kit. It's just in the background. Okay, and I got some labels. I thought these were very cool. I love the Kathy Barrick labels. I need to go label my stuff. And these are the birds in the, and I do appreciate these labels. Very fun. So I picked those up from Hollis Hands Creates with some, don't be shocked, y'all. I bought some linen. I was, so on this trip, I'm taking a smaller model that I'm working on, and then also some gift stitching and a freebie that's going into the cookbook for market. And not that I'll get it all done, but you know, at least I have options if I want to switch out. So I can't even show any of that, but I ordered some linen, back to the story, that I wanted to use, I thought I wanted to use, and then testing my floss, my silks on it. I was like, no, that's not the one. It was Fibers on a Whim, Milk and Honey, I think it is, and in 40 count. I have it in 46 count, but I wanted it in 40 count. It's quite different in 40 count than the 46 count, but it's a little too dark, I think. So anyways, I stuck with what I had picked beforehand, which was cotton, color and cotton parchment, I think is the linen I'm using. Really lovely, lovely, lovely color. Okay, let's go on to what's in the bag, because I have plenty of that. This is fabric we bought. When I say we, it's Lisa and I, my friend Lisa in Williamsburg, and I made us bags. I really, really love this fabric. And the inside is that. Oh, okay, so this is a sampler again by, what's her name? Oh, there's some stuff from my surgery because I had it in the hospital with me in Germany. Okay, this is C.O. Henderson by Violets and Verses, Jennifer Richardson. I switched out the colors on this. Let me see if I can Here's the photo. Isn't it cute? Super cute. Let's see here. Okay, it came with DMC. I switched it over to silks. I picked what I liked. As usual, they are a complete hot mess. No grooming happened beforehand. So there's some hand-dyed fiber. There are 2 Glorianas. This is on here unlabeled, which is always good. It probably is hand-dyed fiber. So 2 hand-dyed fibers, 2 Glorianas. I'm stitching this on 46 count classic from Victoria and Motto. I even hate mentioning them, but their linen, when you could get it, is really nice. Anyways, so so wrinkled. Shame, shame. What's that walk that on Game of Thrones that one of the villain ladies had to do, and they were pelting her with stuff and crying shame, shame. Yeah, that's sort of not as bad, but bad enough. Okay, let me try and straighten it. Anyway, shame, shame. Here it is. That's as far as I've got, and that's how little it is. Isn't it cute? Yeah, one of these days I'll continue working on it. My friend Lisa, of course, zipped right through it and is done. And I do believe, I don't know. Now, I just saw that she has a website up and she has a number of samplers there. I didn't double check to see if that was there. I just looked to see what was there. It might be there. So, yeah. The other one I showed, the dark threaded one, that is there. I think I remember. Anything else hiding out in here? A scissor. All right. Okay, there's that. Oops, the floss should go back in. And what's hanging on this bag? Oopsie, oops. Oh, okay, I'm catching stuff here. There we go. That came as part of the kit. So instead of hanging it on my scissor, I put it on my bag. Okay, next one. Now this is, I don't know if I showed this bag. I found some needlepoint in one of the resale shops over in Germany and rescued it and made a bag out of it. And I think it turned out super, super cute. But, that's me looking at my own work going, oh, that turned out so nice. Oh, well, we didn't get far on this one. Like nowhere. I don't even have linen in it. This was the Elizabeth Isles stitch along I was going to participate in for Laura's birthday. Laura and the cereal starter. Elizabeth Isles. A lot of you stitched it or started it anyways. I just love the angels. And I was down with COVID and feeling pretty lousy at the time, so I didn't start it. That's why there's not even linen in it. I bought the conversion from Vicki Clayton. So here are, oopsie, she sends out a little list, and I put them in this little box. And yeah, here are all the colors. I know Roxy and the name escapes me. I know you're yelling, it's this, but okay. Anyways, the floss company in Canada, Roxy, I don't know. Thought maybe if I let it spool through again in my mind, I would catch the name. They did a conversion, which is much brighter, and I thought it was really pretty as well. This one is, let's flip this one up. Yeah, no, it's a more muted palette. I do like bright colors though. So it was ready to go, but I wasn't ready to go at the time. And then the moment passed, and I made some little like thread boards with a needle magnet right there, and I made so many of them at one point or another. I just throw them in, and they come in handy. I actually poke my needles in there with the thread still on it. That goes quicker for me, and I just threw a little needle minder that XQ Design sent out and part of her sampler club and sampler fabric club, and this was what she included. Okay. Checking the time because I don't want to careen like crazy. Okay, still I'm good. Oh, memories, memories. Now, this bag was made by Lisa. When 2 summers ago, I went and visited her up in Virginia, and we went to this fantastic antique mall, and we found this dresser scarf, is it called? So it had this sweet little embroidery on each side, and I said, "Ooh, that would make a great bag." And so the agreement was I would make the Williamsburg fabric bags, and she would make us a bag out of this one. So we each have one like that, and she did a really, really great job. I love it, and I love the little zipper pull here. It's a teapot. Oh, so girly. Anyways, let's see what's in here. What did I? Oh, okay. Oh, it's in the wrong spot. This is when it was a thing at Traditional Stitches. I ordered this with the Amy Mitten silk, which I like very much. So this is what remains. And I really, I wasn't going to order it. I just was like, what? Nah, I'm okay. You know how it goes. You're like, I don't need it. And then, you know, as time wears on, you're like, I think I do need it. And, you know, Bob passed away. And so I was like, no, I actually should get it. And so here is the, oh, such a mess. Such a mess. Hold on. Oh, it's wrapping around my Dragonfly Floss Bling. All right. Here are the colors. So you see, I haven't started all of them. I had this idea that also the vibe was picked up by Barry of Stitch Folk. So I was thinking about making a floss keeper specifically for silk, but lining the inside with either vinyl or, oh, there's a cotton that has a vinyl. I forget what it's called. It's escaped me also. But anyway, so that there was no snagging of the silk at all on the fabric. It was really, really smooth. And I wrote to her and said, you know, hey, so, you know, my idea is to put vinyl in there. I don't know if you want to try that. Okay, so here are the beautiful, beautiful silks. I think I held those up long enough. And no, it's not an inspiring start. This is stitched on 46 count autumn by Under the Sea Fabrics. Now I have to tell you, I have seen some of her neutrals and they are so pretty. She has a lot of pretty fabrics. Some of it, you know, just isn't the stuff I stitch on or you know, I have nothing to put on, but so pretty. Okay, so I'll hold it up. You can see a little bit of the modeling. Is that about true to color? Yeah, it's about true to color. And I think it goes this way. Yes, that's as far as I got. So I'm trying to be a little bit more disciplined, only in the fact that I'm stitching the border first, you know, which is sometimes super boring. But most of the border is done. There's the second border coming in. I indulged and stitched a little birdie. So that is where I'm at. It's a little sampler. I see these things and I just want to throw everything down and get on it. And here are fun, fun, fun glasses my friend Lisa picked up for me. The cheaters. I cannot stitch without cheaters. I need a little bit. So they are with this project. Anything else in there that needs to be shown? No. Let's see, dig deeper. Oh, there's a, I think that came from Lisa too, a needle minder. Christmas. This is when I'm on the road, you know, everything gets thrown in there. I started this at the Stitch Texas retreat in November of last year. So, oops, oh, this goes in. There we go. And sweet Christmas bag. I thought the fabric was so cute. I did not make this one, and I don't remember who it was I bought it from. But she posted the fabric, and everybody went bananas and had to have one. And this, yeah, I really want to get back to this, is the Arc series by Paulette. And let me tell you, I was inspired, that didn't make me expire, but it inspired me, by Chocolate for Breakfast, Terry. She did this over one. It is so cute, you know, and anytime I see over one, I just geek out. But she had finished hers, and then Paulette came out, I think, with this one, the last one. So I was like, ooh, bummer, but I didn't get very far. Surprise. But I did finish the complimentary block. I have to change out the white because you can hardly see it. I'm not quite sure what fabric this is, so it's a long piece, so it will fit. But that is the beginning. Isn't that stinking cute? Yeah, I might go with a brighter white. It's a little hard to see on this fabric, this white. So there's the beginning, and yeah, you know, my endeavor was to stitch one of these blocks a week, a month. I don't know. I just haven't gotten back to it. It's a 35 count, my fabric. I know that much. And then here are the flosses. What's the bling? The bling is a Reward of Merit Sampler Summer School. Okay, so it came from summer school at some point or another. And what's on there? Oh, 2019, it tells me. That was a nice little gifty. There you go. Okay. So, there's that. And you probably are all cringing because it's still on the Q-snap, but I've never had a problem. I just leave my stuff on until I need the Q-snap, and then I go hunting for it and pull it off. I'm owing because I accidentally stuck a fork when I was emptying the dishwasher underneath this nail, and this poor little thumb is swollen. It's fat anyways, but it's really fat now, and anytime I bang it, it's like, oh, yeah, very painful. Okay. And I'm sure I'll bang it a lot, you know, going on this trip. Now this bag, this is one of my first quilting endeavors. I got a little charm pack, itty bitty charm pack, and sewed it together as this French General. And then it was just laying around because I cut the binding too narrow, and you know, whatever. Anyway, so I was like, into the corner with it, and then I thought, yeah, I'll take it out and make a project bag with it. So that's what I did. It's a little bulky because, you know, it's quilted, and the back, it's not perfect by any means. The back has, you know, goes like this. So I flipped it, you know, as much of the quilting as I could. It was supposed to be a little table topper, and then just turned it into a bag, but it's got like really super bulky seams. All right, what's in here? It says, oh, this is a multi-family housing unit, and it is Scarlet House. It's all the things I really desperately want to stitch from Scarlet House. So let's see. I gotta watch the time. Yeah, I gotta go faster. I think we'll leave the others for next time. Okay, Anna Grader, 1812. Fully kitted, probably by the Country Sampler, but I bought it off of Stash Unload. I know that much. But how pretty is that? Then I probably will be not totally being able to. Okay, Martha Pudsey. Emma Stitch is so bad. And it's fully kitted with a variety. So I just pulled what I had. This is, I know this is Birds of the Feather from Hand-Dyed Fibers when she was doing linen just recently, you know, a couple years ago. And it's a nice Zweigart, and it's very close to the called for Vintage Autumn Gold. This has always been really high on my list. It's the 7 Sheep sampler. When she came out with that, I was just dying. There it is. And this is dyed by me fabric, so I tried to get as close to vintage autumn gold. I think I got pretty close. It's just not very mottled, and it's already got ends on it to put it in my Millennium or Almanac frame. And it's been kitted with Shock of All Shockers, hand-dyed fiber. Let me just tilt all the flosses up. Ooh, that's gonna be so, so, so pretty. I love these spools. Even though they look a little messy, they're so easy to work with. All right, set that aside, deal with that in a minute. Oh, the Smith sampler. I think that's the floss that I pulled out. I think. So that goes with that one. But I don't know if I have any fabric. It's loose. What's in here? Yeah, I probably think this is the fabric. Again, I dyed this myself. And that's the fabric I plan on using for this. At least I think so. The Smith sampler. What is he called? What is she called for? Vintage Meadow Rue. This doesn't look like Vintage Meadow Rue. I mean, it's not. I dyed it, but it's not close to the color. Ah, okay. So here, I really like this one. Mary Miller. Sorry. It's noontime, or, yep, noontime. I'll leave in about 20 minutes. Okay. And so I'll probably upload this from Germany. They have a better network than the United States has, so I think I'll have better luck. And the last one took a full week to load up. I called T-Mobile. I'm like, this is not acceptable. And so they checked and they're like, well, you're within range. I'm like, sometimes the range is so low, it doesn't even register, you know, when I check the speed. Anyways, beside the point. So Mary Miller, 1842. This was a kit put out by Country Sampler. Oh, now you can't really see the colors. I must have taken it out. It's opposite. Okay, but it's beautiful. Beautiful. Fun to stitch. And this is one of my favorite Scarlet House. Mary Bechtel, I think. Yeah, so it's Mary Bechtel. That's I pronounce her Betchel. Yeah, there my dyslexia comes out. So I turned the T and the CH, so it's Betchel. Mary Bechtel. There is something about this sampler. I think it's just antique Zweigart 40 count linen. I cut it. And I will have to test the white on it, but I got all the bell swabs. Really committed to this one. So, such beautiful, that red is stunning. Such beautiful colors. So let me hold it up on the linen. It may work with the white. Yeah. So it should look really beautiful. Whenever I get to it someday. That is one thing I have to tell you. So we finished up the patterns, got them to the printer. I got the proofs back, but that was like a marathon sprint. That was hard. And everything you have to look. And so I get the proofs, I open it up, and I immediately see a missing stitch on the reproduction sampler in the, and I'm like, oh. Anyways, we still were able to fix it. But you know, you look at it so much, you don't see the mistakes. That's what happens, you know, honestly. And it is a ton of work to get those printer ready. It is not easy. There's a lot of work involved. Hats off to all you designers. You just, yeah, nobody knows how much work it is until you do it. But I found a really nice printer here. I'm really happy to stay very local. My framing was done local, just down the street. They did a wonderful job. She's the lady that pinned my, you know, she's experienced in pinning. I went in and asked them, and it looks really, really nice. And I just really like supporting local businesses because they're right here, and you establish a relationship with them. Okay, I have 2 more bags, but we'll have to stop here. It's at 40 minutes anyways. It's yeah, so I will be back in 11 days, I think, for a quick turnaround. I'm doing laundry, repacking, and leaving. Pet the dogs, kiss the husband, you know, maybe sleep. I don't know. That's about it. I hope everybody's doing really well. The fall has come in like a lion, really. The leaves are turning quite a bit earlier than they did last year. The deer are eating everything that they left alone during the summer. They are now destroying and eating. I was a little bit frustrated seeing, you know, some of the stuff being destroyed. But that's what happens when you live around deer. But I think it's a thing. I think they are really foraging to put on the fat layer. Evidently, I'm doing the same thing. So that baking of sourdough, and I made sourdough pumpkin cinnamon rolls yesterday. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Oh yeah, winter's coming. Yeah. So I'm preparing as well, the deer and myself. But the deer are also eating everything on my bird feeder, which was not so cool. Because we would fill it up, and you know, the birds would be like, and it was so fun to watch. And, you know, I would see it. I was watching it during the day, you know, it'd go down a little bit, and then I'd get up the next morning, it'd be gone. I'm like, what is going on? You know, who's coming at night? And then I saw the doe that attacked, I shouldn't say she attacked Mia. She defended herself. Well, she did. Okay, she did attack Mia. But only because Mia was threatening her a little bit. So she was like sideways, trying to scoop the grains out of the bird feeder. I saw her one time. I was like, hey, you know. And she just looks at me. She's like, hey, lady, thank you for the grain. Yeah. So that's a little bit, yeah, I'm wondering, you know, are we going to get a really cold winter? That's my thought, to make a really long story short. Okay, that is it. I'm going to skedaddle. I will see you guys on the flip side when I'm back with the announcement and the reveal. The giveaway, use the word fall if you want the magazine. All right. Love you guys. Take care and stay safe, happy, healthy, and terrific until I'm back in the US. Bye.